integral project is helping children to learn on their own. Why do you need teachers at all? Why do you need adults? Why do you need parents? It's a great question. I would say you don't. In the perfect world, you don't need. In a perfect world, why should you need people to teach you something? You should have an environment, you should have a facility or facilities, and you should learn on your own in a perfect world. But the world is not perfect. We don't live in a world where this is entirely. But what we try to do is, what the teacher tries to do is that play a minimal role. So first thing is, the teacher is not giving the child a syllabus that this is what you have to do. The teacher is not teaching, look, I know and I am teaching you about it. That is also not happening. The child is asking questions, coming up with the topics. If they need certain help, then the teacher helps them. If they've asked very few questions about a particular topic and the teacher has a wider world view, then the teacher can throw in a few more questions. Or really, for instance, if a kid is saying that I want to learn about how cameras work, because a child sees cameras at work and they are very, very fascinated. They want to play with the cameras, they want to take pictures. But the teacher will say, do you know when the first camera was there? How do you think this came into being? If a child is not asking the question herself or himself. So questions which are missed out, because a child world is limited, her exposure, his exposure is limited, the teacher can enrich, can guide, can channelize, and that is a very valuable contribution. Even though it's very minimalistic, but being minimalistic doesn't mean it is insignificant. It is deeply significant. The fact that you can give the gift of a question to a child is one of the most beautiful things that can happen. So this is where the facilitator comes in helping the child to ask more varied questions, sometimes hinting at directions where the child would not have thought of on his own or her own. And in terms of actually finding answers, again, it is not so much that the teacher is going to teach that I know how the camera works. So I'm going to tell you about shutter speed, I'm going to tell you about aperture, I'm going to tell you. They'll say, okay, there are ways of finding out. So to facilitate an experience, to help and point from where this can be learned. So you say, okay, there are about 3 books in the library I saw that are really good, and there is this particular video I can show you, and so is a very good camera person. You can talk to this person, we can invite somebody over, okay. There is this particular program which has been made. So to facilitate and point to resources which may be helpful is again the role of the facilitator. Again, the teacher or the facilitator doesn't have to be upfront about it. They can just sit. Actually, the teacher can relax in many ways, but not relax in the sense of let go, that they don't know what's going on. They're sitting there and they're allowing a child to work, and then when they see the need, they help. That's how it helps. So the role is a beautiful and different kind of a role of a teacher, where the teacher is thinking, what should I do, how can I help, without being upfront about it, without being in the face, without really teaching, okay, and helping the child to flow, to learn, to inquire, to research, and then also to present.